This is Ag Matters PM from the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network, brought to you by the Iowa Soybean Association, your daily recap of the information that affects Iowa's farmers, producers, and consumers, right here in the heart of the heartland. With reports from our award-winning broadcast team of Dustin Hoffman, Riley Smith, and Mark Magnuson. Now, from the IARN studios in Des Moines, here's Mark Magnuson.
Hello and welcome into Ag Matters PM on the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network. I'm Mark Magnuson. Today is Monday, April 24th, 2023, and we're so glad you could join us for today's show. And in today's episode, I speak with Clint Whetstine. His farm was decimated by the EF4 tornado in late March near Wellman, Iowa. He's now receiving some spring planting assistance from Farm Rescue, and we will talk about that operation. I will also have a check of the ag weather outlook, but first, let's run down the markets.
It's time now for the Ag Matters PM Closing Market Summary, your source for market analysis and settlement prices from the day's trade in Chicago, courtesy of the folks at agmarket.net.
At the end of another trading day, we are joined by Robin Schmahl of agmarket.net with our closing market analysis. Robin, what did we see take place in the grain markets today?
Well, we saw corn a little bit under pressure, strength in the soybean meal. We had export inspections, though, that weren't very friendly to corn or beans. 36 million bushels corn, down 12.7 million bushels from last week. Beans at only 13.8 million bushels, down 5.7 million bushels. Wheat was a little better at 13.4 million bushels. That was up 4.1 million bushels from last week. So we really didn't find the strength from soybeans just based on export inspections. And really, the strength in the soybeans was a little bit confusing, as to why that was so much stronger, because we are seeing 2 loads of Brazilian beans on their way to the U.S. They have been shipped out, I think it was April 20th. Well, I guess they're going to be shipped out tomorrow, and they are going to be on their way here because of the cheaper prices. Brazil is running about $2 below our price. So that normally would be considered as negative, but that happens every year. So maybe the trade is just digesting that right now. Basis bids for corn were a little bit lower on Friday into the Gulf. Soybeans pretty much unchanged because South American supplies are slowing the demand for U.S. Grains. Now, Russia again flexed their muscles, indicating they would retaliate if the G7 moves to a total ban on exports to Russia, and they would withdraw from the Black Sea Initiative or the Safe Passage Agreement. So that seems to keep on popping up about every week, a couple times a week. Nothing ever really happens, anything down there. But some of the countries like Poland want to increase some of the ban on some of the imports coming from Ukraine. Cooler weather's on tap for next week or for the next week. Rain is expected, though, in the southern plains, anywhere from 1/2 inch to 2 inches, according to World Weather Incorporated. And that would be beneficial for the wheat there because they are pretty dry in some areas. So that maybe kept a little bit more of the pressure on wheat, that potential. Now, planting progress today should have corn at maybe, or is estimated at 14% done, versus 8% last year and 7% a year ago. Soybeans at 8% complete versus 4% last week and 3% on the average for the last 5 years. And spring wheat at 7% planted versus 3% last week and 13% actually on the 5-year average. So we're running behind on wheat, but we're ahead on the corn and soybeans.
On the other side of the ag marketplace, what was the story today in the livestock markets?
Well, we had the cattle on feed report on Friday, and that was considered as more of a bearish report in 2 aspects of it. The on-feed numbers were at 96% when the trade had anticipated 94.8%. Now, it is 4% below a year ago, so that's bullish part of it. But the trade usually reacts to where it falls on any side of the average estimate initially. Placements in March were the most bearish. At 99%, the trade average estimate was 94.9%. So a lot more cattle around than what was really anticipated. And marketings were pretty much in line at 99% versus 98.8% expected. Now, we did see the reaction this morning as the cattle market opened up, went lower. Now, it did trim some of those losses as we moved through the day, because let's face it, the cattle numbers didn't change overnight. This is a reflection of what was in March and the cattle numbers as far as April 1st. Now, that could be a little more bearish if that trend continues with higher numbers than was expected. However, the here and now is that we are at tighter supplies. So the futures did come back from the lows. We did see a higher close in front month cattle, live cattle. They go off the board this weekend on Friday. And so they got 1 week left to trade. The futures moved in response to that report. Last week's numbers that were purchased out in the country, 18% of those were for deferred delivery. So it gives the packers a little bit more to work with again this week. Maybe they'll be able to hold cash prices in check. Box beef was higher at noon with choice up 25 cents and select up $1.26. Now, last week, we had very strong box beef prices. For the week, we had choice up $8.60 and select up $7.89. On the hog side, we did see another day of carry-through buying, and that was probably in response to the higher cutouts on Friday. Cash wasn't as much supportive on Friday, but the higher cutouts on Friday, plus some short covering into the weekend, carried through today. They did open and struggled a little bit at the opening, but they did come back and closed in the triple digits in closer months. The concern for cutouts, though, today at noon, we were down 13 cents. Hopefully, we will be able to see that change by the end of the day, so we could see another day. It would be 3 days in a row of higher cutouts, which would really be helpful to that market. But the National Direct morning cash showed down $2.41. We hope that is just because of early trade, because that would really be negative to that market if we fell that much in the actual cash trade today. So I think that won't be quite as bad, but it does give an indication that would be lower on cash. We just need to find some solid support from both cash and cutouts in the hog market.
He is Robin Schmahl, our guest today on Ag Matters PM. Robin, thank you for the time. How can our viewers get in touch for more great information?
They can get a hold of me directly if they choose to. My number is 877-256-3253, or they can go to our website, agmarket.net. Toll-free numbers on the homepage. They can call in and somebody will pick up the phone and be glad to answer their questions.
Thank you for the time as always today, Robin. We'll speak with you again soon. Have a great day.
All right. Thank you. It's always a pleasure.
That was Robin Schmahl of agmarket.net with our closing analysis. Let's turn our attention now to the closing numbers, courtesy of the folks at Bar Chart. May corn is down 12 even at $6.51 1/4. New crop December corn down a half cent at $5.47 1/2. May soybeans down 18 1/4 at $14.65 1/4. New crop November soybeans down 8 1/2 at $12.76 3/4. May soybean meal down $6.20 at $4.39.50. May soybean oil down 84 cents at $52.56. Chicago wheat down 16 even at $6.57 even. Minneapolis wheat down 5 even at $8.40 3/4. Kansas hard red wheat down 8 even at $8.17 1/2. July oats up 1 1/2 at $3.38 even. On the Merc, June live cattle up 2 cents at $164.55. May feeder cattle down $1.65 at $210.75. May lean hogs up 67 cents at $77.70. May pork cutout up $1.32 at $84.45. And Class 3 milk for May down 43 cents at $16.89. And that's been a check of the ag market recap here on Ag Matters PM. We're going to go ahead now and take a quick break to hear from our sponsor, the Iowa Soybean Association and the Soy Checkoff. And when we come back, I will be joined by Clint Whetstine. This is AMPM.
Iowa Soybean Association is driven to deliver for Iowa's 40,000 soybean farmers. We're proud to provide objective agronomic research, a helping hand with soil and water stewardship, and timely industry news powered by the Soybean Checkoff. Learn more at iasoybeans.com.
Welcome back to Ag Matters PM from the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network. I'm Mark Magnuson. Today I'm joined by Clint Whetstine. He is receiving help this spring with planting assistance from the team at Farm Rescue. And this was after his farm and his relatives' farms were damaged by an EF4 tornado on March 31st. Mark Magnuson with the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network, and I'm here today with Clint Whetstine. And Clint, we are unfortunately a lot of your property. Could you kind of give us the run? What exactly through this large area that we're in?
So the Whetstine Farms, it was basically 3 farmsteads. It was my dad's place, my uncle's place, and then my place over here east. And we were just lucky enough that it hit 2 of the 3 places and leveled them. So myself and my uncle were kind of homeless right initially after the fact, and my uncle's place is kind of where the main focus of the operation was kind of centered out of, and it really, there's not a standing structure left here, so it's kind of turned our world upside down.
And unfortunately, it does show the destructive power of that storm because, as we mentioned, we are spread out a little bit here between the different areas that your family works and lives on. And so I guess it just goes to show that destructive power of that tornado storm that blew through.
Yeah, I guess everybody tells me it's an EF4, and I don't know. It's very fortunate that we all made it to safety and were able to hide and get underneath of it. And it's crazy.
And you do have some livestock that were affected as well.
Yeah. So right over to our right over there, we had a monoslope cattle barn. I had about 170 head of cattle on feed day of, and I had 54 head of cows ready to calve in the pen behind the barn. And we were a diversified operation. We raised cattle and hogs, crops, corn, beans, and whatever you do in Iowa, and unfortunately wiped out 3 of the 5 hog structures that our farm owns. One being a nursery and 2 of the finishers here at my uncle's place, and just wiped them out. Injured a bunch of livestock, lost a couple dozen head of cattle, about 50 head of hogs. We had to destroy several that were mortally wounded, and it was, it's going to be a big economic impact to what we are doing here. So,
but as you said, Clint, the ultimate very good news is that everyone was okay in your family.
Absolutely. I don't know how. Ed was just on his way down the stairs when his house started coming apart, and we saw it coming from my house, and we managed to take cover, and it's, as powerful as it was, it didn't get to us, and we were all safe. No scratches, no dents, no concussions, nothing. It was, the Lord was with us that day. Changed our life, but at least we have a life, so.
And here today, Farm Rescue has brought some people that work for Farm Rescue, some volunteers as well, and I believe they're going to help you out, get started. Sounds like they're doing some tillage work yesterday and then hoping to get some planting done.
Yeah, so our big front wheel assist tractor that we do a lot of the tillage and plant beans with was damaged extensively, and so they reached out through through some connections. We got in touch with each other, and they brought down a big tractor to hook onto a piece of tillage equipment. They're preparing about 300 acres of ground for us, and as soon as they got that done, they're gonna hook onto a planter and start putting beans in the ground for me. That's big relief off my mind, and it's gonna help us get the spring done in a good, timely fashion that I don't know if we would have been able to do otherwise.
And is that what it boils down to, Clint? Just ultimately one less thing you don't have to worry about that needed to get done?
Yeah, I mean, the list is long of what we've got to do to recover. A lot of lost sleep worrying about what's next, and so having them come has just been like the world getting lifted off your shoulders. So.
And I believe your sister actually helped in setting this up a little bit too, didn't it?
Yeah.
She knew some people at Farm Rescue?
Yeah, so my sister from Wisconsin has been a graphic artist for a number of years, and she's evidently helped Farm Rescue with some of their brochures, and I'm also a Wiffles seed representative, and Wiffles is a big sponsor to them, and but between them and my sister, they got in contact, and it's been great having them out here. So.
And now what's the next step for you? Is it just that planting started and then hopefully move on there and see where you're at?
Yeah, we get the crop in the ground, then we can kind of focus our attention into rebuilding out here. We've had one outfit say they can probably have at least one of our buildings up here in about 2 months. So, you know, it's a start.
Sounds like you've had a lot of neighbors just wanting to come out and help as well. Has that kind of been the case?
Yeah. From the couple hours after the storm until here it is 2.5 weeks later, we still have volunteers coming out almost every day. You know, it's a little less than it was after that first week, but you know, we kind of got a handle on what we're doing, so it's been amazing. You know, you got friends you didn't know you had, you got neighbors that you just met, and you know, and people brought themselves machinery, and it's the small town Iowa is just a great place to be.
He is Clint Whetstine as our guest today. We're near Wellman, Iowa, at one of the Whetstine properties. Clint, thank you so much for taking the time. I know it's not an easy story to tell and let us to come out here and take all these pictures and everything, but it helps us to tell the story, and we really appreciate that, and best of luck with you going forward.
All right, thank you. Appreciate it.
And that was Clint Whetstine, our guest on today's show. Let's turn our attention now to the Ag Weather Outlook. Well, today finally feels like a true spring day. There's not much to complain about. The sun is out and shining, but it's still a little bit on the cool side. It truly feels like spring. And then as we start to think about tonight, mostly cloudy. We do have some widespread chances for rain showers. We'll check on the severity of those rains coming up. And then tomorrow, isolated showers and then partly sunny. So let's turn our attention now to the National Weather Service and what's in store for the next 24 hours. As you can see from the National Weather Service, mostly sunny today with high temperatures ranging from 57 to 66. Tonight, mostly cloudy, widespread chances for rain showers this evening, cool temperatures with lows expected in the 35 to 42 range. Tomorrow, the isolated showers stick around and then partly sunny skies here in the state of Iowa. High temperatures for Tuesday slated in the 54 to 62 range. And now looking at our affiliate weather map for tomorrow, Cherokee, isolated showers, then partly sunny skies, high around 54. Shenandoah, partly sunny, a high around 62. Des Moines, slight chance for showers, then mostly cloudy, 55 the expected high. Albia, slight chance for showers, then mostly cloudy, a high around 56. Waterloo, a slight chance of showers, then sunny, high around 55. Clinton, chance for showers, and a high temperature around 56. For a more detailed forecast in your area of the state, make sure and check with your local Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network affiliate. And that's been a check of the Ag Weather Outlook. That also brings us to the end of this episode of Ag Matters PM. You can find all of our content on our website at iowaagnet.com. You can also follow us on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, and LinkedIn. You can find all of our video content and previous episodes of AMPM on our YouTube channel. And don't forget our free twice daily market podcast, which are on Apple, Amazon, Google, Spotify, and Podbean. From the IARN studios in Des Moines, I'm Mark Magnuson. On behalf of Riley Smith and Dustin Huffman, we thank you for watching. This has been Ag Matters PM.